Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we are talking about My Hero Academia, Season 7, Episode 14. Holy crap, no delays. It's a freaking miracle. Who knew? So this episode is all about I believe it's heteromorphs or animal morphs. Essentially, characters that do not have a human-like appearance, such as Spinner, such as Shoji, such as Koda. Those are the three main characters. There's also this other character that is talking a lot in this episode that we don't have a name. And then the girl heteromorph, we have no idea what her name is too. They just call her that tall lady. And I think that's hilarious that we have now seen this woman in multiple episodes, but I don't even think she has a name. So that is kind of funny. I'll have to look at the character wiki at some point as well. So we see the lizard. And when I see the lizard, I think Spinner. So I think this is Spinner's backstory, talking about, how he got beat up as a kid, things along those lines. But in the reality of it, we learn later in the episode that it's actually Shoji's backstory. So we'll go ahead and continue here. They're just talking about getting Kirigiri. Big fights happening. We have Mike here. I feel like maybe Mike isn't as powerful as I thought he was, because seeing him in this battle, I feel like he, just screaming, like he can pop everybody's eardrums and essentially make everybody deaf, and that would cause a large amount of pain, not enough to kill someone, most likely, but enough to stun them and stop them what they're doing immediately because they are in pain because their eardrum just got blown out. But apparently that is not the case. He is not as strong as I think. So he's in there fighting. Here we have Koda as well. We have a gorilla-looking police officer as well. I don't know if that's the chief of police or what's going on. We have this guy. What is his name? Is it Crust? I can't remember his name, in all honesty. But we're just fighting, beating the crap out of each other as well. And then here is the spider-looking dude up top, basically saying, keep pushing, keep moving forward. This section is more about the Paranormal Liberation Front, doing whatever you want. And then, we have the coder guy from the Paranormal Liberation Front too, listening in, basically saying, live Ray Destro's dream if needed. And it's interesting because we haven't seen Ray Destro at all during any of this. So he's talking about a character that seems like they have just fallen off into nothing. I don't know if he ends up making an appearance at some point or not. But interesting that we're not seeing him. I know he got injured. He got his legs chopped off, essentially. Or he literally got his legs cut off. But, he wasn't useless. He had all the crazy money and mecha gear and everything else that he could use as well. So interesting that he's not there. And essentially the villain here is talking about just discrimination. Basically like, yeah, sure, if you're in a major city, it's a giant mixing pot and nobody cares. But the second you get outside of that city, people do not like us. They don't like our appearances. They are scared of us. They think we are terrible monsters and they want to kill us or get rid of us. That's how it is outside of major cities. And I'm definitely inclined to believe them. So here we have Spinner, who is losing his mind a little bit. So Spinner, unfortunately, got a couple of quirks added to him, and his body is not fully agreeing with it. So he keeps kind of blacking out to a certain extent. We see him drooling a few times as well. Yeah, right here, he's literally just drooling. He doesn't have a thought in his pretty little head besides get Kirigiri. So that is his mission. That is what he's doing right now. And that's what needs to happen. Here we have Shoji, unfortunately, beat up pretty bad. We do actually, here's him fighting some of the villains here. We do actually get to see his face a lot better in this episode. I think we've seen it maybe once or twice before in the past 6 seasons. Yeah, I know. But this is when the mask fully comes off here. We see him, he's got some scars. He says to Spinner, do you have a plan? At which point he's just, here's a good image. That might even be the thumbnail right there. Spinner just zoning straight out. Spinner has definitely become a lot more powerful now that he has a couple of quirks. Now he's basically telling him to shut up, and that he also got an additional quirk, which is scale, which puts these hard scales all over his body, making him even look more monstrous. And this is a giant defense. Like, you're really not getting through that. At one point, Shoji mentions that he attacked with the power to crush concrete, and it still was not enough to stop Spinner. So Spinner definitely got some major power-ups here. Here we see a little bit of Soji's backstory, him getting beat up as well really badly. Basically the friends calling him Octopus. Mineta like really sorry about it. He's talking about that, he wants to just look forward to the future. He understands that his past is what it is. He can't change it. He has the scars to prove it. But that's why he wears a mask, because he doesn't want people thinking that he's doing it for revenge. He even actually saved this little girl in his village that he was from, and then ended up getting the crap beaten out of him because he touched her. So, yeah, good people that he was with. Thankfully, he is where he is now. And in UA, in the hero course outside of this, away from those terrible people. But it's hard to change the minds of some of these backwoods folks, if you will. So we then have Kota here, who grew some horns, so his quirk kind of expanded, and he can actually call animals from even further away. He's actually primarily using crows in this episode as well. Here we go. Here's the girl, heteromorph, basically saying that she got turned away from a bunch of shelters, and then, eventually found someone to let her in. That was the one that Midoriya there saved, who is not in this episode whatsoever. Spinner just doesn't care. And he was like, look, if you let the heroes win, everything is going to be the same. So Shoji's saying, oh, it'll go back 30 years. They're going to be terrified of us. And Spinner's just like, good, I don't care. I'm strong. You can't stop me. These heroes can't stop me. And I want them to be scared of us, because I'm sick of the one being scared. And that is 100% understandable. The reason they have this kind of spider guy speaking is because he is kind of the voice for Spinner, if you will. He's kind of Spinner's interpreter, because Spinner is having a hard time speaking and making coherent thoughts since he got a couple of quirks given to him from All For One. I didn't realize how tall this woman actually was, too. But yeah, there she is, basically saying, what's it like on the outside? Her saying that, hey, these heteromorphs from all over the country are going to come together and, attack. And I don't know if you remember this guy right here. This is the guy that we saw in the first episode that attacked Bakugo. So I guess he's out and about, too. It'll be interesting if he makes an appearance. Honestly, I would love to see him and Bakugo go at it again, because Bakugo, I think, at this point would be able to beat the crap out of him. But, here we have a little bit of Kota's backstory, saying that at one point he might grow horns. We have Kota's parents right here. Dad protecting the mom, saying the horns are beautiful. And that's how we got Kota. She said, a lot of people, be angry for the ones that you love, is what his mom told her. But yeah, here we have him, Soji, hitting Spinner with everything he's got as well. This is where he got beat up after saving her. The girl is sorry for him, because she was like, I'm sorry, thank you for saving me. I'm sorry. I guess she couldn't stop them from beating him up again, which is kind of ridiculous. But, yeah, Spinner's like, hey, this is where Spinner's saying nothing will change, just keep going forward, and they listen to him. We do have a gun pulled out, so I think instead of just trying to, lay them down, knock them out, at this point, we're going to killing. So it wouldn't surprise me if one of them dies, or some police people die, maybe someone substantial will die. As of right now, we don't know if Bakugo is alive or dead currently either, and we don't learn that at all. I think next episode is going to be a continuation of this fight. I'm not sure if Spinner's going to win or lose, but Spinner does manage to break in the preview. Let's see if we can actually find the spot here. Spin it. Let's see. I think it ends with it. If I can find the thing, we're just going to let it play for a couple of seconds here. There we go. Yeah, but so right there, Spinner breaks into the hospital. We see that Mike is like, I think Mike might end up killing Kirigiri. I think that's what might happen here. I'm not sure if Kirigiri has a healing factor or not, but he was like, I can't let them get to him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. We have Shoji as well, trying to stop everybody from entering the hospital. A good part was, before they did the attack on the hospital to get the doctor, I believe that was last season, he said, he was like, what is your plan? What's going on here? You're going to hurt a bunch of innocent people for no reason that are in this hospital, which I think at this point the heroes probably evacuated the majority of them. I'm not really sure. We'll have to wait and see what happens. It looks like there was some staff that we saw at the very least still in the hospital for some people. But he was like, yeah, all the heroes got everybody out of that place first. So they cleared the hospital, got everybody out they could, and then at that point they attacked. So it's like, why are you not doing the same thing? You want a better life for these people, but you're the ones that are hurting them. So you got definitely a clash of ideologies going on here. Really good episode overall. I think we're giving this bad boy a 10 out of 10. Definitely worth a rewatch. You definitely got some cool background information on characters that have been there since day one, but we haven't really seen them or got too much information on them. They were kind of sitting in the background for a very, very long time. Other than that, subscribe, notification bell, like, share, comment, and as always, have a good one.